Welcome to AP Television. In today's video, we'll be breaking down an essential topic in macroeconomics, long-run aggregate supply, or LRAS. This concept is key to understanding how economies grow and maintain stability in the long run, and it's vital for your AP Macroeconomics exam. Let's get started. By the end of this video, you'll understand how LRAS works, why it's vertical, and how it connects to concepts like full employment, potential GDP, and economic growth. Let's begin by defining long-run aggregate supply, LRAS. The LRAS curve shows the total output an economy can produce when all its resources, like labor, capital, and technology, are fully employed. In the long run, the economy operates at full employment, meaning output isn't affected by price level changes. Notice how the LRAS curve is vertical. Why? Because in the long run, the economy's output is determined by its productive capacity, not by prices. No matter how much the price level changes, the economy will always produce at full capacity if all resources are being used efficiently. This is different from the short-run aggregate supplies, where wages and prices are sticky and output can deviate from potential GDP. But in the long run, prices and wages fully adjust and the economy returns to full employment. Now let's talk about potential GDP, which is where the LRAS curve intersects the x-axis. This represents the maximum sustainable output the economy can achieve without causing inflation. It's what we call the economy's full employment level of output. In other words, potential GDP is the total output an economy can produce when all its resources, workers, machinery, technology, are being used efficiently. When an economy produces at this level, it's not overheated and inflationary pressures are stable. Now, the LRAS curve isn't fixed. It can shift. And when it shifts rightward, that's a sign of long-term economic growth. This happens when the economy expands its productive capacity through things like increased labor force, e.g. through population growth or immigration, technological advance that improve productivity, increased capital stock, like investments in factories or infrastructure, improved education and skills that boost labor productivity. Take the rise of information technology in the 1990s as a real-life example. The rapid adoption of computers, the internet, and new software revolutionized industries. This technological advancement improved productivity, allowing businesses to produce more with the same amount of labor and capital, shifting the LRAS curve to the right. The result? The U.S. economy experienced rapid growth without high inflation, as the increase in productive capacity matched the increase in aggregate demand. This is how long-term economic growth is achieved. Governments also play a role in shifting the LRAS curve. Policies that promote long-term growth, like investments in infrastructure, education, and technology, can increase the economy's productive capacity. These are known as supply-side policies, and they help ensure sustainable growth without overheating the economy. By increasing the economy's ability to produce more goods and services over time, these policies can lead to a rightward shift in the LRAS curve, promoting growth without inflation. One final key concept to understand about LRAS is the idea of the natural rate of unemployment. In the long run, the economy always operates at this natural rate. This includes frictional and structural unemployment, but excludes cyclical unemployment, which occurs in the short run during recessions. In the long run, inflation arises not because of changes in output, but because of persistent increases in aggregate demand beyond the economy's potential GDP. When aggregate demand exceeds LRAS, the result is higher prices rather than more output. This is why controlling inflation is important for long-term economic stability. To summarize, the long-run aggregate supply LRAS curve shows the maximum output an economy can achieve when all resources are fully employed. It's vertical because output in the long run is determined by productive capacity, not price levels. And when LRAS shifts right, it represents long-term economic growth. As we've seen, technological advancements, supply-side policies, and investments in human capital are all crucial for shifting the LRAS curve and sustaining long-term growth. Now think about this. How do you think today's advancements in artificial intelligence and automation might shift the LRAS curve in the future? Could they lead to another period of sustained economic growth? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to AP Television for more videos on macroeconomics, and we'll see you next time when we dive into inflation and its impact on the economy.